You'd bargain with them? Really, mate? Is that all your life's worth? 500k? With his
Do you think you would
outlook?
be able to pull the switch in the trolley problem?
I would be able to pull it. Well, it depends. Like, which version of the trolley problem are we doing? Yeah, the 5-on-1 track, one or the other. It's an interesting one, right? Because I feel like if you don't, okay, I think we got this right here. Oh no, absurd trolley problems. Level 1, the original. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person instead. What do you do? So the big thing is here, like, if you do pull it, you are killing the one person, right? But if you don't pull it, technically you didn't kill the 5, which I think in action is still at times, I don't think it's always applicable, but in majority of cases in action still can make you responsible as action does. So I think pulling the lever makes sense here. But realistically, do you think you would actually do it in person? Yes. Yes. I think purely, and I'll say, and this is why I'll say it, because I think, like, as long as you're not thrown in like, oh, well, the people, like the one person over there is like a family or a friend, like if you want to get that specific, that adds a whole clusterfuck. But if it's people who I absolutely don't know, I don't know who they are, they're all the same age, they're all the same race, you know, if we're generalizing basically how it is on the photo, yes. Because I think in the moment, my initial logic would be 5 versus 1, rather than, I don't think I'd have time to be like, oh well, if I pulled the lever, I'm actually killing the other person. I think I'd pull the lever. Kant would pull it. You should too. I mean, I think I would. I think I definitely would. Splat. 73% of people agree with you. 27% disagree. Okay, cool. 27% of pussies. All right, what's this? Oh no, a trolley's heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 4 people instead. What do you do? I think at this point, it's still a case of numbers because there's not more, nuance yet. So yeah, I think you still pull the lever. Last night I watched the Minefield episode on the trolley problem where they had people unknowingly participate in it. What the fuck? That's a little fucked up. That's weird. So 65% of people would agree, but 35 disagree. Interesting. So once it's a smaller difference, it's no longer okay. Oh no. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your life savings will be destroyed. What life savings? What life savings? Y'all want to know what I have in my savings at this very moment? I'll tell you exactly how much savings I have. I need to log into my app. By the way, I only have more savings because I put more last weekend. That's literally the only reason. This is my savings. This is my life savings. It's 150 euro and 17 cents. That is my savings. So I feel like the life of 5 people probably not worth 150 quid. So I'm going to pull the lever. I'm going to pull the lever. Wow. 38% of people are like, fuck that. Fuck that. Those people can die before I hand over my money. Over my goddamn corpse. I'm gonna look at this later. You go to the end, you can see some of the people doing it. Jesus. Okay. I'm actually surprised by how many people were like, fuck that. My money's not worth, or the lives of 5 people are not worth the amount of money I have in my savings. I mean, like, unless you got like a Billy. Even then, it feels like, Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sacrificing yourself. Okay, this is different. This is different, right? Do I value my life to that of 5 strangers? It might be their savings for their kids, maybe. Yeah, it definitely depends on age, how much savings you have, which is the interesting thing about this, right? Some of these things definitely will have a lot more weight to it for some people than others. Like the money one would not have any weight to me, but somebody else, would be a very different conversation. Now, this is definitely an interesting one. Like it's you or another 5 people. Oh. God, okay, this is a bit harder. Because now you're putting in like, I feel like everybody wants to think they would pull the lever, but not everyone would actually pull that lever, would they? Would I pull the lever for 5? I mean, I kind of want to die anyways. Fuck. So it's not like a selfless reason to pull the lever. I'll pull it. I'll pull the lever. I'll splat myself. 60% of people are like, fuck that. Interesting. 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 I don't know. Is that a concerning amount of people that would put 5 other people at risk over themselves? Imagine coming over that mental game in the heat of the moment. It's very different. But I think that's also like this does not equivalent to what people would actually do because you're not in the situation. Of course, at that position, you are timed. You have a limited amount of time to make the decision. You probably don't have enough time to think of every rationality in your mind. So that's interesting. Like, and this moment, especially for this one, where you are lying down, right? Like, you're probably freaking the fuck out. So I think if you make the decision, it's literally going to be one of those split choice decisions. It's basically the movie Saw in a lot of these cases. That's the video I sent Explorers. Okay, interesting. We'll definitely have a look at it. Yeah, what's the next one? Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then the original copy of Mona Lisa will be destroyed. Pull the fucking lever. Like, yeah, okay, it's the Mona Lisa. Fair. It's a fucking painting. At the end of the day, it's a goddamn painting. I don't think this is that hard of a decision. 23% of people are like, they'd rather people die over the goddamn fucking painting. Whether people would actually match up with what they say they do. Oh, okay, interesting. I like that. Alex does not value history. Alex values life above history. History is important, but it's not so important. Like, let's put it so. Also, in the digital age, something like the Mona Lisa, it's not like nobody will ever be able to see what the Mona Lisa looks like anymore. We got plenty of pictures. You can make pretty spot on remake. There's so many artifacts out there and like historical things now that are not the original, but are just remakes because the originals got ruined in fires and from, fucking countries and towns being pillaged and endless artifacts being destroyed. False equivalency. How is this a false equivalency? In what sense? In what way is this a false equivalency? As I was saying, oh, just look at the photos instead of taking trips to places. That's not. No. That is not the same. That is absolutely not the same because we're not talking about specific locations. We're talking about an item that's to do with history, right? Like, for example, what difference do you like if we're talking about visiting a place, like a natural place or visiting a specific spot for a certain reason is one thing, but an item, a specific item, which in this case which is the case, like, where is the Mona Lisa held? Where is the Mona Lisa? In the Louvre Museum. That's in France, right? The Louvre. Yeah, so for example, you can still go to the Louvre and experience all those other things. Just because the Mona Lisa goes away does not mean that the Louvre is somehow nobody's going to go there. It's the Louvre. The R is silent. My bad. Not French. So I don't think it's a false equivalency. Because, like, what is the actual benefit of the Mona Lisa, right? It's an example of a famous piece of art made by an artist that is no longer around, right? Which, with something like that, you can easily see that digitally to understand that you don't need it there physically to actually educate the person. What's the benefit of any historical thing? Education, right? We value historic things due to their nature, like the pyramids. Okay. But I would argue that the pyramids are not an artistic historic thing. Like, if you're talking about the history of art and historic art, it is very different, right? Like ultimately historic things are for education. Now we can also argue the cultural aspects of things, right? Which, for example, the Mona Lisa, painted by, what was a fucking, who painted it again? I don't know why. Was it Da Vinci? Yeah, Da Vinci. Was Da Vinci even French? Was he even French? He was Italian. What the fuck is it doing in France? What the fuck is he doing in France? Why is it in France? Why is it in France? When an Italian goddamn painter made it. We don't need the pyramids anymore. We have the Baspro pyramid. Yeah, I for real said that. I for real said that. Like, if it's culturally equivalent, then it's more important to the people, right? To the people of that place. Alex doesn't know. I don't know any art history. Like, do I look like a goddamn art major? No. I was a music tech major and I dropped out. I know nothing about art. What I'm saying is, there's things, for example, like location-wise, where you can go and experience a location like the pyramids. Like that, I think that outweighs the historical aspect to a painting. And I don't think that, even honestly, even if we were to take into account something like the pyramids, I don't think that weighing somebody's life against a historical artifact is the equivalent, right? We've gone through so much history where people have died and murdered over fucking objects, even if they're historically fucking valuable or culturally valuable. I can make the fucking the Nazis did that shit, right? They went out and fucking stole artifacts, but for what end? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The only benefit of an artifact is the cultural value and historic value, which I don't think lives up or is the equivalent of that as the value of life. To me, value of life is above historical and cultural value. Personally, it's like saying if a fucking fireman needs to run into a building and he has the option of saving the Mona Lisa or saving the 5 remaining people within the burning building, he should go for the Mona Lisa because it has more value than that of the lives of 5 people. No, absolutely not. Keep doing trolley problem. We'll see if you hold true to your principles. Okay. What's next? Oh no, a trolley's heading towards a rich man. The rich man offers you 500 grand to pull the lever, which would divert the trolley and kill someone else. See, now this is one of those things that applies to fucking, like, for a poor person, 500 grand's a lot. I could do a lot with 500 grand, right? I could do a lot with 500 grand. Would I honestly, like, this is more to me. I don't think I'd be able to live with myself if I actually sacrifice somebody's life for money. Like, I feel like that would haunt me for my whole fucking life. So I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Bro, almost instantly. What do you mean? I'm just trying to give you the logic. I'm trying to walk you through the logic. That's it. I ain't doing it. He can fucking die. The face you made. I had to think. 49% disagree? Holy shit. 49%? That's almost 50-50. Damn, brother. People are greedy. People are also poor. I mean, yeah. Damn, that's a rough one. Nah. I'm going to say now after I made a choice, I'd be more offended. Like, really, motherfucker? Fuck you. Wouldn't give me that money regardless. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards 5 lobsters. You can pull the lever to divert to another track, running over a cat instead. What do? I mean, levels of sentience. This is an interesting one. If it was me, I would have negotiated that his life was worth more than 500k. Yeah, you'd fucking get him. You'd bargain with him? Really, mate? Is that all your life's worth? 500k? I don't know, man. I think your life's worth a bit more than that. It's a life for a life of money. You did mention an action. It's still action. So you participate. Exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. And I would rather kill, even by principles, I guess, alone, I'd rather a fucking rich person die. They probably had a much more fucking happier life, right? They probably managed to do a lot more things. Fuck off. Give somebody else a chance. While teasing with him with pulling the lever. Yeah, while teasing, I'm like, okay, so level of sentience. So this is an interesting one because I feel like they very specifically use something like a cat because it's a domesticated animal in a lot of cases. So people look at cats as pets, right? So I think in the moment, I would kill the lobsters. But then if I think about the benefits of each, like economically, or not economically, environmentally, I feel like lobsters probably do a lot more. But I think in the moment, I do nothing, right? I do gotta say, I feel like I wouldn't be able to murder a cat over lobsters. I just don't think so. 85% of people agree with you. Yeah, I'm not shocked by this. This is kind of, yeah, not surprising. You know what 5 lobsters could? Lobsters are dumb fish. Are lobsters even fish? They're not even fish. They're crustaceans. You know what 5 lobsters could do? Feed people. A cat could feed people. A cat could also feed on a person. I don't know what kind of point you're trying to make here. Well, do you think that the lobsters are going to be edible after they're splatted across the railway? No, you kill 5 lobsters, you can't eat them. You mean you can't? Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think you're going to get much meat out of those lobsters after they've been fucking railroaded by a goddamn train. Yeah, well, they're crusty, match. God damn it. But then it would be like that country that eats dogs. Exactly. I'm just saying, it's a thing. It's a thing. What's next? Oh no. A trolley is heading towards 5 people who are sleeping and won't feel pain. You can pull the lever to divert the track, running over someone who's wide awake. What? How the fuck does this make any sense? Just because they're sleeping, they won't feel pain? That's not how that works. They may not panic beforehand, but that's the only difference. One of them is screaming for their lives while the others aren't. No, I think this does not make a difference. I think it still applies. It's 1 life to 5, right? That's all this is. I think they mean there is no fear. Arguing consciousness. Yeah. I don't think consciousness, like if it was a 1-to-1, it would be different. If you ask me 1 sleeping person versus 1 wide awake person, I think that would be a moment of like, fuck, can I listen to the screams of one and then knowing I killed them, right? So that would be a whole thing. But 5-to-1, I still think it's 5 lives to 1, and I'd pull the lever. Wow. Okay. 47%. Imagine the 5 people just waking up and being like, why am I tied to a railroad? And you're like, I saved you. I saved 5 of you. Now follow me for the rest of my life. I'm now Jesus and you're my apostles. That's what would happen. I'm kind of surprised. I did not think this would be as close to 50-50 as it was. Because I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's still 5-to-1, 5 lives to 1. Especially because it's a lot easier to compare this, like once you start going difference of fucking sentiality or whatever the word would be, right? If it's like different species against each other, but once you have the same, then it's a lot easier. It's 5-to-1 in my opinion. So that's still the logic there. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people who tied themselves to the track. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 1 person who accidentally tripped onto the track instead. Interesting. So, from the information provided, I'm assuming, and from the photo provided, that the 5 people who tied themselves are more than happy to die. And I'm all about personal choices. If you want to make that personal choice, you do you, boo-boo. You do you. You made the decision. I ain't gonna fucking stop you. Like, what the fuck would I do that for? This is, do you support euthanasia? Yeah, if it's your own personal choice, sure. You do you. It's your life. You get to decide what the fuck happens to it. Or you should. You know, bodily autonomy and all that good stuff. Yeah, 79% of people agree with me. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, I think most people agree with the idea of bodily autonomy, especially when it applies to themselves. Some people have a harder fucking time grasping that concept when you're thinking about other people, but when you think about yourself, everybody wants to have bodily autonomy. And I think you should give that kind of option to other people. But yeah, I'm not too surprised by this percentage. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people. The lever just speeds up the trolley, which might make it less painful. Oh, fuck. Why even put the other guy there? Oh. Do I? The trolley heading towards 5 people. The lever just speeds up the trolley, which might make it less painful. So it won't make it more painful. Yeah, it's not even about saving. I don't know why they put the other guy there. The other guy just like, ooh, a show. While everyone else is screaming for help. Quicker. Yeah, I guess. Like, even if there's the possibility of a quicker death, if it goes slowly, yeah, I think pull the lever. I think pulling the lever makes sense. Make it faster. 29 disagree. Oh, what the fuck? 29 be like, I want to see him suffer. I want to watch as everyone that's next watches the other get crushed. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's rough. Damn. That's a rough one. Minor inconvenience. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards one guy. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your Amazon package will be late. You consciously made the choice to participate in their death. But I think we already talked about this, Dylan. Like, sure, okay, yeah, you actively participated, but the inaction is also, like, inaction is not that far off action, especially in a case like this. Maybe in that scenario, it doesn't apply as much because they were going to die regardless, and you just made the executive decision to hopefully have them suffer less. So maybe in that sense, yes, you are now participating in their death. Legally, you could go to prison for that. I mean, I think this is obvious, right? Of course I'm going to pull the fucking lever. Like, this is stupid. Like, there's no way. Who the fuck doesn't? I don't believe that 19%. I think the 19% is... I'm memeing. The 19% have to be memeing. The 29 is probably from people not involving themselves in the situation. Maybe. It said might. You don't even know if they suffer less. True. True. Shitpost, exactly. Yeah, I think it's definitely like this one's easy. Like, this one in general is a meme question. But the previous question, yeah, I guess thinking about that more like that, it said it might. Like, you are not aware if it will make them suffer less, but if you're aware that it might increase the chances of less suffering, yeah. I'm also assuming this is all done in kind of like a bubble, right? Like, nobody else knows about this. You're not going to get judged for it. It's just your own personal decision and how you live with it later. And I think I'd be able to live with that, right? All right, number 14, best friend. Oh, a trolley is heading towards your best friend. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 5 strangers instead. Fuck. See, this is where I knew it would start to get more difficult, because once you start putting personalized stuff into it and you get specific on who dies, like once it's stuff like, you know, oh, there's kids here, or it's somebody you know there. So this is where my conundrum is, right? I'm between 2 best friends, right? I got like 2 best friends. That's the way I look at it. And both of them are pretty goddamn fucking depressed. And I feel like they'd be more mad at me if I let them live. And I had killed 5 people for them to live, more so than they would be grateful for me saving them. One of them would probably be annoyed that I saved them. Like, what the fuck did you do that for, dickhead? I made my peace. I'm about to die. Bye, Dylan. Don't pull. Your best friend has been talking shit about you. I mean, all my friends do that. Like, see, I'm trying to put myself in a position. I'm trying to put myself into the actual position of it all. Fuck. This is a hard one. Like, this is genuinely a hard one. Oh. The personal connection, the heat of the moment, impossible you don't save someone you know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Alex, one of the strangers could be a girl just like you and might become your future wife. Thanks for making it a little bit easier, or trying to make it easier for me to kill my fucking best friend. People are greedy like that, right? That is the thing. People are greedy like that. You are absolutely right. Fuck. Because, like, if I'm hearing, because, like, I'm trying to put myself in the scene, right? Like, put yourself in the scene for a moment. You stumble upon a trolley. You hear voices screaming for help, and you see the lever. But out of those voices, you can distinguish, and then you see your friend, your best friend, screaming for help. But then just a little bit up north, you see a bunch of strangers screaming for help. And you realize in the moment you have to make a split decision. Yeah. Like, this is... It's a hard one. Like, it's easy to meme, right? It's easy to meme. Then you see Dylan, you're like, nope. Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's easy to meme. It's easy to meme. But Dylan and me have been through a lot. Dylan and me have been through so much shit. I don't think I'd be able to just discount that. And then having to go to his parents and his girlfriend and everyone to explain to them how he fucking died. Oh, nah, I don't think I could do that. And also living with the fact that you could have saved your best friend and then you didn't, I feel like would weigh heavier on me rather than if I killed 5 strangers, right? Like, there's so many more, like, personal, like, type shit that goes into then the aftermath of the death and how you fucking live with yourself afterwards. Like, the only justification you can keep telling yourself is, like, I saved 5 other people. But then, like, one of the closest people to me in my life had to fucking die. Like, that's rough. All right, next one. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 1 person instead. At least that's what you think is happening. You forgot your glasses and can't see that well. What do you do? This feels fucked. So you think it's heading towards 5 people. Touch but don't pull. Don't involve myself in the situation. I feel like there's going to be a big gotcha here. As soon as you pull the lever, it's going to be like, it was actually already 5 corpses on the main one. And it was a baby on the other track. It'll be some stupid shit. Or just be a cow that thinks it's 5 people, exactly. The gotcha doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if this is purely going off of visuals, I can't hear anything. I can't hear voices. I don't think I involve myself. Because I feel like, yeah, this is kind of go down to like, oh, you don't have all the information that you can for making this decision. Do you make the decision half-cocked or not? This is, because I don't think it's as easy. Very minorities. The 5 people could be asleep. There's a lot of what ifs, right? There's a lot of what ifs. It's more about, do we do it? Or do I do it, I guess? I can't be pawning this off on we. I'm firmly, yeah. When you only hear one person and don't know where that one guy is. I'm just trying to think, right? Right, I'm going to put myself in the moment. I'm walking down. I look up. I'm like, oh shit, it's blurry. I don't know why I've been walking through the woods without my glasses, but I'm like, oh fuck, it's blurry. I look up. I see blurs that look like people. And then there's one person in that one. I know that if I pull the lever, it'll kill the one instead of killing the 5. But I'm not sure. I feel like with adrenaline pumping, I feel like I would, right? Like thinking through it now, to stay consistent, I would say do nothing. But in the moment, I feel like due to the adrenaline and being like, shit. Oh, I don't know. But then I'd still be like, oh, but I'd be killing another person. This is hard. This is hard. This is like every fucking fantasy book movie D&D session where a fucking group goes in half cocked without a full fucking idea of what they're getting themselves into, and then some fucked up shit happens because of that. They should put timers on these. They absolutely should. I want to say do nothing. But I feel like I would pull the lever. I'd like to think. Yeah. I'm actually, this is the one that I'm most split on. I actually don't know. I did go with pull the lever, but I don't know. 48% of people wouldn't. 52. Okay. I can kind of see this being very close to 50%. I'm not too surprised about this. Like, this is actually a very interesting one to consider. Because you don't know exactly if you actually did a good thing or not. Cousins. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards one of your first cousins. You can pull the lever to divert to their try killing 3 of your second cousins instead. They could not have asked this to like a worse person, to somebody who does not give a fuck about extended family. I don't even know how many cousins I have. I don't know a single one of my cousins' names. I'm not pulling the lever. To me, same equivalency in this case, because like this is not that close to me. They're both technically family. Like if now they said parent, grandparents, okay, maybe that'd be a harder decision, right? But yeah, no, 6% of people agree with me. Awesome. Yeah, makes sense. To me, it's still 3-1 kind of a equivalency. Oh no, Trolley's heading towards 5 elderly people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over a baby instead. Okay, now they're putting an age. I do think, because life equivalency now is a little different. It's not just life to life. It's 5 lives of elderly people who have lived most of their life, who'd be very aware of death and what's about to happen to them, but they have lived a full life, as opposed to pulling the lever and killing a baby who's not aware they're gonna die. They may be freaking out, but they're not aware they're gonna die. But they have the potential of still living a full life, an unknown life. You don't know what they're gonna get up to. Might be good shit, might be bad shit. But yeah, look, there. I saw it. It's fucking wow, 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 wow. They could die right after from a heart attack. We're assuming they're fully healthy elderly people that won't die within the next day after this happening, right? But I think the age does play an aspect. The fact that it's 5 elderly, so the majority of them have lived a fairly, not necessarily a fulfilling life, but they've lived, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to do nothing. I think I'll do nothing here. Bye-bye, old people. Yep, 76% people agree. I'm not too shocked by this. 24% people would still save the elderly. That's an interesting one. I thought this would lean a little more towards saving the baby, but apparently not. This isn't stated. One could be terminally ill. Yeah, I mean, sure, the baby could be fucking prematurely born and is actually going to die in the next week also. Like, there's all of these what ifs. You don't know. There's too many what ifs. Oh no, a trolley's barreling towards 5 identical clones of you. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track. Sacrifice? No! Absolutely not. If I know I'm the original, and I gotta choose between killing myself or killing myself 5 times. Get the fuck out of here. Why would I want 5 times more of me walking around this earth? That sounds woeful. That does not sound like a great addition. Bro, you all think you're the original. Well, I'm the one who got the choice, so fuck him, right? It's like, does Rick worry about murdering his clones? No, he doesn't, because why would he? He made them, or so he thinks he made them. It's fine. Like, you're hurting nobody but yourself, because if it's a clone, it's ultimately an extension of yourself. So you're only hurting yourself. And I'd rather the consciousness I have within the one pulling the lever continuing to live on than my consciousness in another body. 5 times that. Fuck that. You should play Soma. Why? Is it gonna have some of this shit as well? Oh no, a trolley's heading towards a mystery box with 50% chance of containing 2 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting a mystery box with a 10% chance of 10 people. This is a fucking game show now. What's behind box number 1? There's a 50% chance of 2 people or a 10% chance of 10 people. I mean, 10% is fairly low. 50%. That's a flip of a fucking coin. The more chances to kill less people or less chances to kill more people? I feel like this also kind of then takes the whole action and action thing out of it, because you're putting so many unknown variables in here, right? Of exactly, you know, because in both there is a percentage chance that somebody doesn't die. And in this case, I feel the whole action and action thing isn't as relevant because of that lack of information, right? You actually don't know if somebody gets hurt. So I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything. Do nothing. Only 44% of people agree with me. Damn. Okay. Yeah, because like my logic here is like you actually don't know if anybody's on the track then. Like this isn't a case like you think there's something out there, but here it's like, oh, they're under a box. What are the odds here? Like at that point, I say take your hands, let Jesus take the wheel, right? It's kind of the way I look at it in this case scenario. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 sentient robots. You can pull the lever to divert it to the track, killing 1 human instead. What do you do? I don't think we're that woke yet to really put AI life, considering I don't think there is such thing as AI life at the current point in time. Do you care about sentience? But that is the interesting thing. Is sentience the only thing to take into consideration? I do care about sentience, but there's sentience on both sides. Right? There's also sentience within the person. This is almost like having, like, you know, it would be like 1 person or 5 dogs. You might as well put, like, that would be equivalent if we're just talking about sentience. So it's like, what do you value more? Human life or other forms of life? Exactly. So do you care about 5 sentient things or 1 sentient thing? I feel like, why do we value human lives? Because we are also human. That's it. Is it because we're sentient and have a conscious experience? Not only. I think it's I think that's what we use to make us feel above other things, right? Because like you'll constantly have arguments even about fish. Like fish aren't actually sentient. They're not conscious. It's like, it's not true, but go off. Because yeah, I don't think sentience is the only important thing. It's also a case of like humans need their physicality to reproduce. Robots don't reproduce, right? AI does not reproduce. Robots are just created. Like anybody can create a robot. Well, I say anyone, like any human can create a robot. I think I do nothing here. I think I do nothing. Sorry, robos. My bad. It's not fun, but I feel like this is the decision I'd make. What this is more vague than, yeah, exactly. It is more vague than robot versus human. It's more about sentience. And like, like in the moment, like if I ran up on this scenario and I saw robots and one human, I'd save the human. I think there is some familiarity of it, like, you know, because it's another human being that does play a part into that. I don't think that'll play well across like putting people against animals necessarily, but put people against robots. Yeah. What if it was the first sentient AI robot and there was no documentation on it? Would you save that over a human life? Yes. Yes. Because it's the first, and like, I mean, I feel like if I saw in front of me, like, oh, there's a possibility of it happening, it'll probably happen again. Like, I don't think it would become a singular fucking nexus event that it's either happens here or never. Like, somebody else down the line would discover it and figure it out, you know. So yeah, I still think in this case, why does it being the first matter? It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's valid enough for me for that to sway my mind. Because I mean, like, to be honest, if you put like one person against 5 dogs, like, that's a different conversation. Even though, you know, because I feel like there is also something about using AI and saying, oh, it's sentient AI. Like, we have a preconceived notion of AI is, did I miss here? It sounded like you saved in the first time. No. I said that, so like function said like, oh, what if it was like the first sentient AI and there's no documentation? Would I still pick it over human life? My answer is no. Because, you know, if we're like logicking it out here, you know, if there was one AI made and this is the first sentient AI, I would say, I swear to God, you said yes. No. What I was saying was, so like, even if it was the first ever and there's no documentation of that AI, I would still pick the AI to die because, in my opinion, if it was discovered once, it'll be discovered again, right? It's not like a Nexus event where this is the only opportunity for sentient AI to become a thing, right? It'll probably happen down the line regardless. So I would still kill the robots. Maybe I said it kind of fucked last time, but that was the point I was trying to make. Regardless, AI gotta go. But yeah, interesting. 16% of people disagree though. But yeah, I feel like once you start talking about other organic, biological kind of beings, it's a different conversation. Because I think we do also have a preconceived notion, right? It's AI, it's a robot. It can be rebuilt, it can be remade. But like, if you kill a human, you can't remake the human the exact same, right? The human has to be reproduced, and you don't know what you're going to get with that batch, right? Like, there is some kind of like that idea of something, of being able to remake something exactly the same, kind of takes away the alive life aspect. I don't know how to really put into words, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Economic damage. When does a robot cross the boundary though? What if the robot has life experiences, memories, and emotions? It's an interesting topic, right? It's an interesting question. I don't know personally. I don't know. That's called a consciousness, yeah. Because then at that point, the only thing that separates them from other biological beings, because now they have conscience, they have memories, they have experiences, they can feel emotion. The only thing that separates them is God. Yeah, is God. That's it. Rewatch. I should rewatch Blade Runner. I should watch Blade Runner. But yeah, like, it's still that biological aspect that escapes it there then, right? It's that idea of like, well, a robot can be recreated, right? It's AI. So if the idea is that you can set certain parameters into it and put it into any body, do you really kill the AI if you destroy the body? I don't think so, right? Because the body is not what makes it the uniqueness that it is. We can't rewire a human. You can't recreate its memories. You can't. That's true. You can recreate its memories, which ultimately makes it unique in that way. But you can recreate the body, and you can kind of recreate the parameters. It is definitely an interesting conversation. It is definitely an interesting conversation. I don't know. I really don't know. It's really hard to say. I think we'll always have a bias against AI because we will always look at them as, no matter, like, unless like thousands and thousands of years down the line and robots and AI, conscious AI and sentient AI are integrated into normal everyday life as equally important and on an equal stature as human beings. Like, once that happens, then it's a very fair comparison. But the way we're living now, where first of all, conscious and sentient AI is not even a possibility at this very moment, as far as we're aware, let alone to it being normalized on a cultural and just like on a world scale. Like, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, because then it ultimately, then I feel like turns into a fucking into the game become human, right? Isn't that basically what that game is about? Fucking androids being treated the same as humans. Yeah, I feel like until something closer to that happens, then that question will be easier to answer. But yeah. Anyways, let's get to this one. How many trolleys am I throwing? I don't know. We should have a Blade Runner movie night. Ooh, that might not be a bad idea. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 3 empty trolleys worth 900 grand. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting 1 empty trolley with 300 grand instead. What do you do? I have one question. I have one singular question, and I'm going to let you guys answer it, and that's going to depend on how I answer this. Who are these trolleys owned by? Are they owned by the state? Or are they owned in a private manner by a single individual? Trump. They're owned by Trump. Because that's where my distinction lies here. If this is a public transport, these are trolleys for the public use of the people. They're trolleys, Alex. They're used by poor people. Well, then I'll pull the fucking lever. Then of course I'm going to pull the lever. Now, if this was like privately owned, you know, but given out, then I'd say fuck them. Destroy the 3 trolleys. So it depends. Who's it owned by? Is it owned by the state, which then means it's owned by the people, or is it owned by a single individual or a single company that's then selling it out for people to use? And as soon as they stop paying for it, guess what? You guys don't have the right for public transport. What if I bought them all to help the people? That is a very big what if. Very big what if. And even then, if you bought them to help the people, that means you're letting them use it for free. If you're asking for monetary return, you're not doing it to help the people. You're doing it to line your own pockets. Oh no! So this is external costs. A trolley is releasing 100 kilograms of CO2 per year, which will kill. I love it. I love this. Well, you need maintenance runners for it. Need some cost. I mean, look. Like what you're throwing onto this, Dylan, is a very big what if, right? If the only cost, and even then, if that is what you're saying is, that can be included into tax. If you like, okay, well, no, well, unless it's privately owned, then you can't really charge tax for it. I mean, if you charge just enough for maintenance runners and for like costs and no return for you, then yeah, sure, fair enough. You are doing a good thing. But if you're putting a margin on top of that to get a return on it, you're not doing it for the people, you're doing it for the return. As long as what you're charging is a break even, you're fine. That's fair. Okay, but now what if I wanted to gain a profit to increase how many trolleys there are? It's a lot of what ifs, brother. It's a lot of what ifs. You are the most well-intentioned millionaire at this point then. If this is your like long-term kind of plan, you are the most generous millionaire in the fucking world. More trolleys equals more public transport for people. I mean, ultimately, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like you're painting an extremely unrealistic image, right? Like, it's just, I don't feel like there's a single example of that. There just isn't. Like I said, this is the most generous millionaire in the world. If this is his plan, he bought the trolleys. He's letting people use the trolleys, and he's only charging enough for the maintenance, the upkeep costs of it, and then a little more to be able to expand to more trolleys down the line, but none of it's for his own benefit. Think of this shit buses used in Dublin, right? True, but that is not privately owned. That is owned by the state. that is state owned. But yeah, it's a very big straw man they're putting up doing. Like, it's a lot of what ifs, on the individual case, which I don't think is very realistic in our world. It just isn't. Right. So this external cost, a trolley is releasing 100 kilograms of CO2 per year, which will kill 5 people over 30 years. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting a brick wall and decommissioning the trolley. What's that gonna do? What the fuck is that gonna do? It's gonna do nothing. And you can make the argument that actually not giving people the availability to use the trolley will probably be more detrimental on a day-to-day. Well, it's always like how businesses can start small and always want to expand and blah, blah, blah. Yes, true. I mean, in a sense, but that isn't their only goal, is to expand. Like, a lot of the reasoning behind expansion is so they can earn more money, right? It's not to grow the business, because, like, this is the general idea. I'm going to grow the business so I can earn more money. That's usually, from my understanding, the case. Very few people are like, I want to grow the business because I want to provide more access to people. Or I want to grow the business for the sake of growing the business. Usually the underlying reason to grow a business is to earn more money in the end. How much you care about CO2? Well, like, right, this is the question. It's not possible to have a no, like, obviously we're going by the assumption there's no alternatives to environmentally friendly fucking public transport. We're just going by this design that they have. This is top of the line design. Top of the line design is it will kill 5 people over 30 years. But it will provide public transport, public access to individuals to, you know, throughout their life. It doesn't specify who over, and I mean, over 30 years, 5 people, that's not that much. There's a lot of other things that kill way more. But by growing a business, you inherently grant more access to a wider audience as you expand further out. Yeah, true. But like, for example, I'll give you I guess a good example to use is, let's go with Amazon. Like, it gets to a point where you get so big, where getting bigger for more access is stupid. How large can a company grow without becoming harmful to the layman? I mean, yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, I'm not an economist to say that exactly, but I think if we look at majority of millionaire or billionaires, like, look at the top 1%, right? If they really cared about growing their platforms for more access, they wouldn't be sitting as billionaires, right? Because the money would have gone into providing the access rather than in their own pocket. So it's I don't even necessarily think it's about how large can a company grow. It all comes down to the individual who's spearheading the company, right? What are their intentions? Are they putting a substantial amount of the profits into their own pocket? Things like that. Think my friend last night was saying the only way you can become a billionaire is through exploitation. Yeah, exactly. Agreed. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. Like, there's not a single example of a billionaire, and nobody, like, if you can name a billionaire who has reached their status ethically, I can probably, within a single Google search and within 10 minutes, can disprove that. Realistically. And probably in a lot of these cases, I don't even have to use Google. I can just give you examples because they're that obvious. Like I said, because like I think a lot of people also think exploitation, like the first thing that people jump to is like, oh, exploitation of resources, maybe like what's happened with the Middle East and you know, the oil, etc., all that shit. But it can go beyond that. Like with Amazon, it exploits its workers. Like, exploitation also goes as far as not paying your workers a livable wage. That's exploitation. Or using illegal immigrants to pay less to get people to stay within their jobs and not be willing to quit the job. You know, stuff like that. Well, that's obvious. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, every company, like, there is no Marxist arguments. Yeah, I mean, I'm a socialist, so what up, homie? Yeah, like, it's just like, that's another example of it. Like, there's so many examples. Not a single millionaire or billionaire, well, maybe millionaire, I don't know about I don't know about millionaires, but every single billionaire has exploited to get to where they are by undercutting or exploiting resources or exploiting whole populations. Like, it goes like that. Anyways, here I would do nothing. I would do nothing. I don't like here. It's just a case of like, I don't think we can be CO2 neutral, or in this case, like where we're gonna leave some kind of like here it's a balance of convenience, true life to the negative impacts, and I think we should be trying to minimize that as much as possible. But I think you would do more harm by running this into a brick wall. So I'd do nothing. By saving it, we have carpooling, thus less CO2. It destroys more people would have use more cars and more CO2. Yeah, I guess you are right in that sense. Yeah, technically, like the fact that it's public transport, less cars on the road, so ultimately less people, like it prevents a worse scenario. So true. 59% of people disagree. Interesting. Interesting. I don't think I thought about it that much. More of this shit. Reincarnation. This is stupid. Oh no, you're a reincarnated being who will eventually be reincarnated as every person in this classic trolley problem. What do you do? Oh, you pull the lever, right? You pull the lever then. Because you'll die here, but then you'll reincarnate eventually as one of these. So you'll live. Unless the person before you decides to pull. Like we're assuming, but like I guess the previous version can then make a different decision. But at least you know if you die here, you'll reincarnate and you get to live to this point again. Yeah, pull the lever. Pull the lever. I feel like that makes sense just to pull the lever here. That makes total sense. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards nothing, but you kind of want to prank the trolley driver. I mean, I kind of want to prank the trolley driver, right? So I guess we're pulling the lever. Hey, 62% of people like to fuck with others. Let's go. 38% people pussies. Absolute pussies. I don't even know. Little bitches. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards a good citizen. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over someone who litters instead. What if it's not a harmless prank and it killed someone down the line? That's not my problem. That's down the line. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that was going to happen. That's not... I mean, I don't think that's admissible in court. I mean, do I want somebody to die just for littering? What vague fucking ideas? What's a good citizen? And is the other one a bad citizen just because he litters? Isn't that just called manslaughter? That's if they can track it back to, I guess, technically. No, no, because I think there's a difference between unintentional murder and then murder that you weren't aware was going to result in murder, right? Like the butterfly effect. The thing manslaughter is when you do something and you know, would, like if you hit somebody with a car. I don't know. Actually, that's interesting. Some people have the principle that no one should be punished to death no matter what they do. Yeah, that's true. Like some people are very against capital punishment. I think I'm one of those people, like I'm like 90% against capital punishment, but there's just a few examples that I'm like, I don't know how to fucking justify this. I'm very much like, I do think rehabilitation is something we should strive towards. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't, and ultimately, like that's also assuming that death is the worst punishment. I don't think death is the worst punishment. Gotta take the kitty cat to the vet, so I'll be gone for a bit. No worries. So kill some hoes real quick. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do nothing because like this is one of those things. It's just two people. Littering is not a criminal fucking offense in any fucking way. 21% of people agree with me. Damn, boy, 79% of people would murder you for littering. Sheesh. Bit excessive. Eternity. Oh no, due to a construction error, trolley is stuck in an eternal loop. If you pull the lever, the trolley will explode. And if you do not, the trolley and its passengers will go in circles for eternity. So murder them or either murder the people on the trolley or let them go in a circle for eternity. Let them have the fun scenic route. Let them go for a ride. I feel kind of I don't see the point in killing them. I feel like there's other solutions you can take. Or make them starve and dehydrate to death. I feel like just because it's going on an fucking forever loop, call somebody. Why is your choice murder or no murder? Hey, fire department, there's like a fucking trolley stuck in a loop. Maybe you can pop down, do something, do your fucking job, like eternal damnation to the infinite life of being stuck on a trolley. But they'll be like the wisest people. They'll be our council, right? The human council that's been around for thousands of years, who we can go to guide. You know, we can go to them for guidance. They're going to be like the next step in evolution. They're going to be our elders, our sages. Nuh-uh, force field. But Alex, I could go 120 kilometers an hour. Bubble around the eternal trolley. I mean, that could be like an artifact. We talked about it earlier. Fucking put this in the museum, boys. For people to wonder as you watch the people behind the barrier scream for help. I think that'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty fun. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards your worst enemy. You can pull the lever to divert the trolley and save them, or you can do nothing and no one will ever know. What do you do? I mean, fucking like Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like the only people who would do nothing, or if they just like what the fuck are we in a goddamn like fucking Naruto anime? Your biggest, your worst enemy who murdered your family. Like, I'm trying to think, who's my worst enemy in my life? Probably some dickhead or like a previous manager who like fired me, or somebody who was just mean to me in school. Like, I don't think that's worthy of murder. 49% of people disagree. What kind of fucking enemies do people have out there? Oh, he cut me in line at the fucking at the Dairy Queens. I can't let him live. Disgusting bastard. Jesus. If I saw Alex on the track, I would do nothing. What the fuck? Man, that is uncalled for. That is so fucking mean. I'm a human. I'm a goddamn human. That hurts. It's mean. Not cool. Not fucking cool. Oh no, a trolley's heading towards a person and will lower their lifespan by 50 years. You can pull the lever to divert the trolley and lower the lifespan of 5 people by 10 years each instead. What do you do? If I could ever make a draft, that's sadistic, horse. That's sadistic is what that is. So either one person loses 50 years off their life, or 5 people lose 10 years off their life. Yeah, I mean, look, if you take 50 years off somebody, that's like over half their life. If you take 10 years off somebody, I mean, like, that means they still probably live to their like 80s and 90s and shit like that. So like, I feel like it only makes sense to pull the lever here. 10 years each instead, 5 people, 10 years of your elderly experience. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's about the quality of the years, not the quantity, right? The last 10 years of your life are probably miserable and you're always in pain anyways. Even if they live to their 70s. Exactly. Exactly. Time machine. What? Oh no, a trolley's heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sending the trolley into the future to kill 5 people 100 years from now. This is actually kind of cool. I really like this one. This is an interesting one. Honestly, I think pull the lever. I think pull the lever. Like that disassociation of knowing that the other shit happens in 100 years time. But what if it's like one of your descendants, like your grandkid in 100 years? Oh, ooh. You can have the current people be saved, but you don't know which 5 people get murdered in the future. Just random 5 people. What if it's you? You're dead in 100 years. Like, our medicine is not that good, brother. I'm assuming I'm coming into there now as a 26-year-old. I'll be 126. Kill me. If I live to 126, kill me. Shoot me. Fucking have a trolley drive over me. That's too long. That's too goddamn long in this fucking earth. Not worth it. They've extended human life that much. I doubt it, but still, I'd rather die at the age of 126 if I have not died already. Alex, remember when the 5 people could be your future wife? But so... What the fuck are you talking about? No. No. I think I'd pull the lever. Yeah, pull it. Yeah, 69 to 31%. I can kind of see that. Yeah, because it feels like the idea of something happening 100 years from now, which is something that will not affect you in your current time, it makes it a lot easier to make the decision to pull the lever and to save the people right in front of you. Free will. Oh no, a trolley problem is playing out before you. Do you actually have a choice in this situation? Or has everything been predetermined since the universe began? Is this just a quest? It's nothing to do with the trolley. This is just like, do you believe that there's destiny or that we have ultimate free will? I think we have ultimate free will. I have a choice. I don't think it's predetermined. I think we have free will. Congratulations, you have solved philosophy. My kill count is 58. This is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. Some of those were hard, some of those were difficult, but some of them were just like, I don't think... It seems pretty straightforward to me, to be honest. Imagine Alex is like that one time I saved 5 people by sending a train into a time portal 100 years later. Alex sitting in the garden at a family gathering, and suddenly the portal opens the train. Oh, fuck, that's so wild. How did that happen?